Valve has dropped the first update of the year with a pretty big list of changes alongside jumping changes, sounds, maps, and more right after my sponsor SkinsMonkey. Trade your items instantly with SkinsMonkey. Sign up now and get up to $5 bonus. Simply add items from your inventory, then find skins that matches your balance. Site offers live support 24/7. You can also top up your balance if you're missing a few dollars, and there's tons of skins to choose from. Click my link down below to get to SkinsMonkey. With Season 4, they decided to remove Train and put Anubis back into the pool, and what was obvious at this point was changes to the map. The biggest being the bridge no longer has any passage down water. It's been moved further back, so CTs can jump down without having to worry about Ts from bridge. This is a huge rebalancing of the map, and it completely changes the timings of water control. They also reversed the doors on mid, probably to make these engagements on both sides less awkward now with the hole in the wall. Another change is this opening here on B to allow for utility to pass through. It obviously works both ways, but it's a cool addition that plays around connector being a bit awkward. On A site, the final big change is these crates. This is done intentionally so that CTs retaking site gain a bit of cover from anyone playing pillar. Thanks a lot, Fogal, for helping me out with the comparisons. But the interesting thing for me is the timings down to water. Let me know what you guys think, or if you've tried out Anubis. Speaking of maps, Valve has removed Golden, Palacio, Agency, and Rooftop from all the game modes, and they've added in Warden, Stronghold, Alpine, along with Sanctum and Poseidon as the new community maps. This means to no one's surprise that Gabe Follower was right about his emojis. But throwing in these community maps together with this update was a good move. It kickstarts the year with a little more content. But of course, Valve couldn't get away without dropping this new AK to the armory. What's crazy about this one is that it's a red item, and it goes for 125 stars, which is a huge number. Valve has also added 2 new weekly care packages and removed Safe House, Dust 2, plus Nukes and Inferno's 2018 collections. Oh, and they did a soft reset on competitive mode. Alright, now let's cover the gameplay changes. Valve says they made minor adjustments to the MP7 and MP5. Eugenio has spent hours making this post with multiple graphs showing before and after, linked down below, and Counter-Strat shows off the new distance with the same 6 shots using the MP7. So yes, minor changes, just like Valve said, but the MP7 might be more of a viable option now. And they've made them $100 cheaper along with the Bison. Next, the jump changes. Now this is always a complicated, detailed topic. We've seen over the years how Valve has really trusted Subtic to handle everything. And this is that, but for landings and jumps mostly. Valve has basically reworked all of that stuff, but skipping to the most important bits, is B-Hop broken again? As long as you use scroll normally, you can still B-hop fine. Nothing's changed there. However, Piotr shared a great example from this update where this B-hop maneuver is no longer possible, and if you revert to how it was before this update by enabling Legacy Jump, then you can actually pull this off. He also noticed that the impulse mall value on the new jump can't get past 0.9, but on the old one he gets 0.95, which probably explains the difference of why the old one works. And Trip, another YouTuber, reached out to me and explained that a B-hop maneuver like this is now possible, and it was not possible before. So this new system goes both ways, and that's where I'm gonna end for the jumping so we can move on. Here's a little underestimated banger for people who like to play casual or retakes. If you hit escape, you can now choose a map guide, which was a feature Valve released alongside Train. The idea here is rather genius. You can learn nades as you're playing, and casual and retakes gets populated. Well played, Valve. Now, I saw something about movement, more specifically how legs might have changed this update, which makes sense because the community has requested counter-strafe animations, but there is no difference, and I think Valve would rather plan this whenever they decide to pick up where they left off with Animgraph 2. Just wanted to point this out. However, something that will make a huge difference with today's update is the sound. The first patch note talks about reducing audio output latency. If we sync the footage and look at the audio waveform, the new update produces less audio delay. This could explain why people feel like the game is more responsive now. I've tried it in slow motion, same results. Others have said they felt a difference playing live, and Valve made it clear in the patch notes that they did in fact reduce the latency. It's right there. So this is obviously a very positive change for the game. But then we get to all the controversial audio stuff, and honestly, there are tons of things here, so I'm not gonna go through all of it. But the most interesting bits is obviously the new drawing sounds for knives. There's even a change for when you slice and stab. It just sounds different. You're probably not going to like it at first. The only change I don't like is how the butterfly has this new clash sound that pretty much sums up the sound part. Then under the miscellaneous section, Valve increased the material's fidelity on some of the base guns. This is a visual upgrade, but from my testing, it was rather hard to notice anything. Unless shaders and particles along with models set to high, the lighting started behaving differently, but I don't really have anything worth pointing out here. And the rest of the notes is mostly fixes, alongside map scripting patch notes, and that pretty much covers the update. One last thing to note is Navi asked where cache was, and Valve actually replied. But, I mean, we knew this already. If you have any thoughts, and you ended up watching the whole thing, and you want to share them down below, you can add watched to your comments so I know you watched the entire thing. Peace.